Well, hello there, good people. Hi, it's Jason with Green Country Agroforestry here, and today we're going to do a little bit of cooking. People have been asking me about doing a spring foraging video, so we're going to show one of our spring foraged vegetables, yellow dock or curly dock, and we're going to do a little cooking video for you today, but we're not going to use the fire pit. I've got a different tool that's a little bit more appropriate for what we're going to prepare. Let me go ahead and show that to you. Well, we do like to use the fire pit, and we like to use our grill too, especially whenever it's summer and it's really hot out. Or fire pit's nice on kind of a chilly day in the fall or early spring. Well, hello, kitty. I've got a new kitty that walked up and wanted to say hello. Hi, how you doing? Okay, yeah. It's great for those sort of situations, but sometimes you don't need a whole grill or a whole fire pit's worth of fire, especially if you're just going to be cooking some eggs for breakfast or boiling some water. Hello. Hi. So today we're going to cook on this. This is a portable wood burning stove. Yes, it comes with a battery, solar powered, and a set of controls. This is a fan that has three positions. We either have a low speed or a high speed, and then we have a vent that we can go from open to close, and this causes air to feed from underneath here. What does it feed into? Well, this, of course. This is a stove from Blue Sky Biochar, and the idea is once we have our fuel in here, we place it like so. Light from the top, and then control the airflow to cause a nice clean burn here at the top, so no soot on the bottom of your cookware. You're essentially cooking with gas. It's the wood gas that's being produced as your fuel is turned into charcoal, biochar specifically. So it's a garden soil amendment that you're creating while you're cooking breakfast. Alright, so let's go get some things together to cook. I'm going to check a popular place for stray eggs. Alright, look down here. Okay, I've got a couple orphan eggs here. Today we're going to focus on this little plant right down here. This is dock, yellow dock or curly dock. It is Rumix, a form of sorrel essentially, and like other sorrels it has a high concentrate of oxalate in the leaves, which gives them, when raw, a rather tart, lemony sort of flavor, although young leaves are not incredibly bad in a salad. This is February, Zone 7A, and I have a very good pot herb in the form of these dock greens here. So I'm going to harvest a few of these. Alright, maybe one more. So this is definitely going in our meal. You notice even though I've harvested, I still have more coming up in this patch. I can come back here in another day or two and harvest more from this very same spot. But I have more spots where I can harvest from. These little alliums are really quick to bounce back as soon as the cold and the frost is gone. They've got good solid root systems and they spread like nobody's business. This is the Egyptian walking onion, or allium, pardon me. This is the Egyptian walking onion, or Allium proliferum, and I'm just going to get in here and try to grab just one. There we go. which will end up being 2. That should be enough onion, I think. Classic orange daylily, Hemerocallis fulva. See, we have quite a few in this patch here, and they spread from little runners below the surface quite easily. They do produce flowers. The flowers are edible. The seeds that can be produced in the flowers can allow you to grow new plants. We're going to go ahead and pick down in here and see. Oh, it sticks a little bit too. Not up to the task, I think. Dig in here and see if we've got anything. If I've got tubers, then we're great. Why not have tubers? Let's get that in here. It's making me look bad. Oh, what do we get? Ah, there's some. There. We do have tubers. So, I could probably just call it good there. Just take those tubers. What do you think? I experimented with this a while back, and I found that you cannot, in fact, take these little tubers and separate them off of the plant and get a new plant to grow from them. They are just simply energy storage for the plant. But I can take the plant, I can pluck off all these little tubers that's got on it, like I did there, and add them to that pile. And I can probably do the same thing, if you don't mind, with this other little plant right next to it. So we're just going to try to dig down. I might need a better digging stick. Of course, if I had a garden fork, I could use a garden fork, but we're just foraging right now. So, primitive tools. Let's get in there. There we go. Oh, wow. He was in there good. Alright, so last year was a drought year, and not really spectacularly great for these daylilies, but look at the storage that they still managed to produce. Let's go ahead and harvest some of those. All these little tubers, starchy little tubers, except for that one, are a source of starch calories. Sorry. There we go. We'll get those washed off. And you'll love this bit, because now, see, I'm going to leave this plant here. I'm going to leave that plant there. But I think now I want to move this plant a little bit further down. So I'm just going to dig in the ground a little bit. Open up a space. We're going to put this plant into that space. And so I've harvested a calorie crop, and I still have the plant that I harvested it from. Okay, we came down here a little bit further. This is some Bermuda grass. I don't want Bermuda grass, so I'm just going to pull it out by the roots. Alright. You see that really reddish clay soil matrix that we have here. The red is full of phosphorus. And I've managed to mix in a little bit of biochar and some organic matter here. It has a long ways to go. But the daylilies will grow in it. They won't complain. And so now I've spread, I have the daylily there, the original patch, another one over there, and they will continue to spread. And we multiply what we have, and it becomes more abundant. Let's drop these things down here. So, what do we have so far? We've picked eggs. We have the ducks, so we've got eggs. We've got a starchy root crop from daylily that may as well be a native plant, as much as we spread it across North America. We've got our Allium proliferum, or onions, because we don't have any wild onions, but I did make sure that we have plenty of this Egyptian walking onion growing. And then of course we're going to use dock for our seasonal green. Let me navigate through here and we'll see what else we've got. Fuel canister out. We have already some wood pellets. Typically you'd use hardwood pellets. You could also use spent field waste converted into pellets, like corn cob. I'll probably do that here sometime in the future. You could use sifted dry wood chips. They won't burn as long, but they would work. You could even take little bits of sticks and twigs and break them up into fine pieces with your garden shears and use that, and those would work as well. Trick, of course, is to get this lit. So I'm going to start out by just taking a couple of pellets, put down there. Might help to have a little accelerant. Not for you, kitty. I'm going to need to give this kitty some food so that she's not busy over here, because I don't want her to get burned. Alright, let me set this up here. I have pellets and a little bit of lard. That's a little bit of oil there in the little packet. Paper. And I can now take that, put that down in here. That gives me a little something to light. Let me go take care of Kitty real quick. Okay, let's fire up the stove and then we'll get started on preparing our vegetables. Pull this chimney up and out of the way, slide our canister in, so vent is all the way to the right, so it's open. I'm going to feed a little bit of air. Let's see if that does the trick. Can you see? Alright, so the idea is we're supposed to get enough heat generated by the fire on the top to liberate the wood gas from the pellets. That's going to be circulated up, mixed with air, and ignited at the top. And it should produce a little cyclone of flame. Let's go ahead and open it all the way up. Fans on position 1. It looks like it's burning. Alright, so while we're getting our stove started up, let's have a look at our veggies. Alright, so we're going to start cooking with the usual suspects. We've got, of course, our skillet over here. But I also brought my flat iron because I think I'm going to want to put something on a tortilla. Cooking tortillas, of course, means I need to have my lard handy. And I think we're going to start, of course, with the ingredients you saw me picking up earlier. Let's show them off to you. I got a couple of duck eggs. I'm going to use one of those. Of course, the Egyptian walking onion, we've got it cleaned up and ready to go. Off camera, I cleaned up the veggies, so we washed our dock leaves. We washed and par-cooked, blanched the daylily tubers, so we just washed them thoroughly, put them in boiling water. I put these in for 15 minutes. I probably should have put them in for about 10 because they are very, very tender now. But we're going to go ahead and cook these up and cook them up as well. Cut these up and cook them as well. And from last year, no, this is from the very first year that I was doing YouTube. This is one of the cayenne peppers. Can you see that? It's one of the cayenne peppers that I grew. And these are nice and spicy, so we're going to put one of those in. So we're going to have a dish with all these fresh foraged greens and things that we grow, perennials in the garden, along with a duck egg, and we're going to put it on a corn tortilla. Sounds like fun, yeah? All right, let's start out with my greens and my onions. And I'm just going to chop up those nice and fine. So, dock greens are good in a salad, but they do have a lot of calcium oxalate in them. So good news is they're high in calcium. Bad news is calcium oxalate in large enough quantities can cause kidney stones, so you don't want to overindulge. But the oxalate is reduced by cooking to the point where they don't even taste like, you don't get the acid taste out of them whenever you're done. So anyway, I'm going to mince up our greens like so. So we got our onions and I just happened to pick a little bit of sage up off of one of our bushes. As a matter of fact, I think I can use more sage. Give me 1 second. I'm going to grab my sage. There we go. The neighbor likes to tease me. This is about double the amount. Just a little bit of sage flavoring. The neighbor likes to tease me about growing a garden but never cooking anything out of it. And here I am out cooking in the grape arbor. Oh, you can hear him coughing in the background. He's back there watching me actually cook things that I grew in the garden. Okay, so here we have daylily tubers, and they are just like little fingerling potatoes. You want them as light as possible. If they're really overly dark, then they won't have as good a flavor. Just cut that piece away there. And yeah, they got little rootlets. You can cut those off if you want to. You don't have to. We're just going to chop those up. And they're practically mashed potatoes because, as I said, I cooked them for about 15 minutes and probably 10 would have been just fine. Maybe 15 if you were going from cold pot. Cold pot with water in it. See, that's just like, it's just like little hash browns. It's like little hash brown potatoes in there. Isn't that cool? So we've got our little hash brown potatoes, we've got our fresh greens, a little bit of onions, some sage. What more could you want? Well, you might want an egg. So let's take our duck egg here and knock it all the way around. Larger than a AA large egg, homegrown, and very, very, very nutritious. It's a duck egg. Oh. 600, 700, it's freaking hot right there. I mean, it is just hot, hot, hot. And seeing as it's hot, let's go ahead and put our skillet on there. All right. Now, going to prepare breakfast. We're going to need a little bit of oil. I'm going to just put about a tablespoon of lard on there. Go ahead and just add some cayenne pepper flakes. Egyptian walking onion, curly dock, harvested, forested, fresh this spring, and a little bit of sage. Daylily tuber, right there, starchy root vegetable. You thought it was a flower. It's a starchy root vegetable, folks. Oh, that doesn't smell half bad. You hear the sizzles. Tell you what, I don't want this to cook too fast, so I'm going to go down to 1. I'm going to reduce the airflow to half. We still have fire, that's good. So I'm going to just reduce my cooking temp. So just like you would use your gas range to control your flame and have immediate reaction to your temperature by switching to the lower fan setting and dampening my air by half, I was able to drop the surface of the pan down to about 224. If they were paying me to talk about this particular pan that Mary purchased off of Amazon, I would tell you something about this pan. It is a nice pan. You know, I'd love to talk about it in detail, but no. They're not paying me for it. Suffice it to say, it's an enameled pan. I'm very fond of using an enamel because it's a naturally non-stick surface. And even if it gets hot, an enamel pan is never going to off-gas potentially hazardous chemicals and pass them on into your food. I rather like that idea. Now we're sauteing our greens and our peppers and our onions. That all looks really nice. Alright, while we get ready, we use the fork and bowl method. Circular motion. Beat your egg. Want to know how to make your eggs nice and light and fluffy? Well, start by beating them uniformly. There we go. Nice and light and fluffy. Look at our veggies sauteing nicely. Do you think I need more oil? Maybe a little? Yeah, I can put a little bit more oil in there. See if I can get on that vent. Okay, so inside we are a little above boiling right now. The greens are cooking down. They smell kind of nice, but we're going to go ahead and introduce our eggs. So we're going to switch over to 2. That's our high heat. And cover for just a moment. Let the temperature build up. Make sure that we've got our eggs whipped up pretty good. That's pretty good. Unfortunately, we don't live next to the ocean, so we have to import a little bit of salt. Alright. Now, can we fry an egg? You know, cook stove is great, but if you can't fry an egg with it, it's no good, right? So, let's see here. That's high temp. I don't know, what do you guys think? Think that'll make good filling for a little breakfast taco? Hey, like, subscribe, leave your comments down below. Alright. This here's a flat iron. And about the time that the oil has managed to settle all the way across, I know it's about time that I can put a tortilla down. Another one here. Whew, close call. Battery died on me. Go ahead and turn that. Okay, we're starting to get browned. I had a battery malfunction. Doo-da, doo-da. Oh, it's always nice to have a little bit of lard in your pan when you're cooking off these tortillas. And of course, it's also nice to have something to put them on when you're done. Let's see. That much eggs. I think I'm going to need one more tortilla. What do you think? Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's do one more. Okay. So we get a little bit all the way around the bottom of that tortilla. There we go. Alright. Turn. We get oil all over the bottom of this tortilla. Alright, let's get all that. Ooh, that's hot. All the oil that. Ooh, start to puff up. There we go. puffing up there. Caliente. Está bien. Look at that. Nice, nice. Okay. There we go. Ooh, that's hot. Let's turn this volume fire down a little bit. Let's go to 1. Let's go ahead. Sort of put it down here on idle. My cast iron is getting hot, but I can still hold it. Ooh, it is actually a little bit hot here. See how it goes? So this could keep going on and on and on, guys. It's super. Super, super. Of course, we have our hot ingredients here. We're going to go ahead and put our breakfast taco filling in. 2 out of breakfast tacos. So these are daylily tuber, starchy root vegetable, duck egg, Egyptian walking onion, and a little bit of sage for our seasoning. Oh, also a little bit of cayenne pepper for seasoning. Give us a little bit of a kick. Just a touch of salt. And there we go. We can even go so far as to put these on a plate in some sort of a aesthetically appealing combination. Like so. Well, alright, good people, there you have it. It didn't take very much time at all to prepare breakfast, but that fire is going to keep on going for, well, an hour all total. So we're going to go ahead and let it burn out. We'll have a look at the biochar that it made. Until then, I'm having breakfast. Pardon me. Let's see here. Yep, we can boil water. Oh, it's a little too hot. I gotta let this cool down. Alright, let's have a look at the charcoal that we've made. Wait, don't spill it. Alright. That's what it looks like. Well, that's all I've got for you today, good people. If you found the video informative, entertaining, or maybe a little bit of both, well, you know what to do. I'll catch you next time. But until then, get out there and get growing.